Good day, everyone. It is March, and the days are longer and lighter, and it seems like we're headed in the right direction for some nicer weather, and things seem to be getting better with the pandemic. It's so wonderful to see many of our parishioners returning, feeling more comfortable now to celebrate in person. And we know that perhaps as more of you are vaccinated, you'll feel comfortable to come back and celebrate with us. We certainly do miss you. This week I discovered a wonderful book to share with you. And it's not a book that you're going to read in a day or two or three. It's one of those books that you really want to just savor and read a paragraph at a time or a chapter at a time, let it down, reflect on it, go back to it. Take some time just to meditate on this book. The title is The Sound of Life's Unspeakable Beauty by Martin Schlesky. He is a luthier. Now, I didn't know what that meant either, but a luthier is one who makes violins. And he's German, and the book was originally written in German, but beautifully translated into English. And Schlesky links the pursuit of beautiful music with that of finding God, and how each phase of handcrafting a violin helps him to understand the overwhelming power and gentleness of God's love. Something we should all be struggling to find, the overwhelming power and gentleness of God's love. He writes this in the book: in the final analysis, music is prayer cast into sound. He explains that the world is filled with metaphors and parables and so many messages from God. But he wonders if we are truly listening. Do we really see? And in this book, he draws on some brilliant biblical metaphors. He has himself developed an amazing interior life, creating that instrument, the Stradivarius. And he tells us how he has to listen to the wood of the trees to hear them sing, so as to choose the perfect wood for the violin. And this is what the book is all about, how he does this, how it brings him closer to God, and he uses all kinds of wonderful examples. And it's about an interior life that he has developed, and he's encouraging us to develop so that we can survive all the challenges of life. One of the examples that he uses in the book is the bristlecone pine tree, one of the oldest living trees on the planet. There are only 18 of them left. They're over 4,000 years old. The oldest of these were germinating as the Egyptian pyramids were being built. And during ancient Israel's heyday under King David, they were already 1,500 years old, and they're still growing today. Surprisingly, this species lives under the harshest conditions imaginable. They're located at an altitude of more than 9,000 feet above sea level on the east side of the Sierra Nevada in the White Hills of California, which is one of the driest regions on the earth. And so they grow in the most adverse climate, with hardly any rain, facing strong, extremely cold winds. And yet they survive. They make it, and they've made it for thousands of years. And he says that it's because of their quiet strength that continues to prepare them for the thousands of years yet to come, for all the things that they have to face with the adverse conditions in which they are planted. The oldest living bristlecone pine they named Methuselah, and it's 4,850 years old. He writes about these trees, how they speak to him. And he says that what they tell us is not difficult to hear. They say they challenge us to always keep growing. If we stop growing and working on our interior life, we decay, and we can die physically or emotionally. So he's always challenging us to stay alive inside. and then we can make it through all the adversities, crises, and weaknesses that we face in life. He quotes Paul's second letter to the Corinthians. Therefore, we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. So this whole book is about inward renewal, the key to not collapse under the troublesome winds that these trees have. And he writes, these trees did not choose the soil or the location in which they were planted, and neither do we. And we all have tremendous growing pains throughout our lives, many challenges. And Martin Selesky challenges us to meet the same challenges that the bristlecone pine meets. And then we can be worthy of the same wonder and honor that they receive. Certainly this has been our challenge this past year with the COVID. So we're challenged to listen and see all the metaphors and parables and messages that God floods our world with. And Lent offers us this opportunity to develop this quiet strength to really work on and deepen our interior life that enables us to hold out, not give in, not really be shattered or despairing because of the challenges that we face. So we're called by Martin in this book to discover God all around us, even in the midst of the pandemic, and to be receptive to God's grace, which is also all around us. So as we continue on this Lenten journey, let each of us listen to the sound of life's unspeakable beauty, and thus experience the overwhelming power and gentleness of God's love. God's love is all around us, and so is his overwhelming power, offering us grace every minute. Have a peaceful week.